What is happening, MzeroA Nation? Jason Shappert here, and I hope you're loving this mock check ride series. So if you're just hopping into this, there's 4 Tuesdays in the month of May for mock check ride May. We have previously covered the private pilot check ride, the instrument pilot check ride. We're now diving into the commercial pilot check ride. And please don't forget our 4 amazing podcasts are all related to check rides as well. You can find those on Apple's iTunes. Anyways, we want to chat a little bit today about, well, the commercial pilot check ride itself. And honestly, one of the biggest mistakes I believe commercial pilot applicants make is following the advice I was given so long ago. And that was, hey, Jason, listen, your commercial pilot check ride, it's a glorified private pilot check ride. Who, show of hands, put it in the comments below, who has ever heard that statement said? Can we squash that phrase from your vocabulary? Because nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, if you compare our commercial book with the private book, this is almost 150 pages more. I went into my commercial pilot check ride with that mindset of, it's just a private pilot check ride, maybe turned up a notch or two. And let me tell you, I almost failed my commercial pilot check ride. I went into it just so unprepared. We started diving into the different types of hydroplaning. I had no idea. Then we got into, if your tire pressure is X, at what speed would you hydroplane at? And I remember thinking, what is this gentleman talking about? My commercial check ride literally got to the point where he said, okay, Jason, if you don't get this next question, we need to call it a day. And I thought, I've never been that close to failing a check ride in my life. Thankfully, I got the question right and we made it to the airplane. But I had this negative mindset, I guess. My mindset was, if I could just get to the airplane. Has anybody else ever had that mindset? And that is a self-deprecating mindset to have of, man, if I can just get through this oral exam, if I can just get into the airplane, everything will be okay. And that's a terrible mindset to have, especially going into your commercial pilot check ride. So let's talk about it here a little bit. Obviously, you have the book already on Audible as well, or anywhere else you can get an audiobook. That's really where I recommend diving into that in greater detail, just beyond the scope of this video as well. But I assume you're going to become a commercial pilot because you're probably going to go on to CFI, and there's a small subset of the market. Jeff, I'm thinking of you. Jeff's one of our phenomenal lifetime members. He said, Jason, I just want to be a commercial pilot, just to be a good pilot who's always learning. And I love that mindset too, but the majority of the market, you're becoming a commercial pilot because you want to truly fly for hire. You want to become a flight instructor. You want to be a Delta captain one day. You want to fly for NetJets, whatever that may be. This is that first step towards it. And what are some focus points of the commercial pilot check ride? Well, before you even show up to the check ride, we've talked about this. And again, I would encourage you to humble yourself enough to go back and, hey, will you watch the private pilot version of this video, the instrument pilot version of this video? Because there's some tips in there that transcend no matter which check ride. We were talking earlier about how to dress for a check ride. And while a button down may be overkill a little bit, it depends on where you live geographically. Maybe this is appropriate fall time weather. I don't want you sweating like crazy. I always say dress like you're going golfing. Now, I am not a golfer, but you know how a golfer dresses, right? Decent slacks, decent golf shirt. That's how you want to treat this. Again, from private pilot all the way on up, but especially at the commercial pilot level, we need to begin dressing. We need to begin thinking like the pilot, and not just the pilot, but like the person you want to become. You have to start acting like that person that you wish to become. Start dressing like that person, start thinking like that person, start living your life like this person. Because let me tell you something, and if I can just go into dad mode just real quick, I see people throw away amazing careers in aviation because of lifestyle and poor decision making. And I know the goal right now. I will get to the check ride content, but I need to preach just for a half a second and let me hear in the comments too if you agree, or you can always disagree with this too. But if you are choosing aviation as your career, you're gonna have to make certain lifestyle adjustments as well, because let me tell you something. One medical mishap, and your flying career is gone, right? If it's high blood pressure, if it's an overconsumption of alcohol, I watched, and I'm just preaching from this because I saw it happen. I went to an aviation college and I saw friend after friend wash out of the program because of things like underage drinking, DUIs, all the just dumb little things that when they were 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, whatever it was, and they got kicked out of the aviation program, they got that stamp on their record, and they kissed their dreams and their investment and everything else goodbye. So I just share with you that if you have any unhealthy habits, right, this is the opportunity to straighten this ship up. And I said ship, not a bad word. You'll never hear me say a bad word. But this is your opportunity to straighten the boat, straighten the ship up, because this is your career. And I'm sorry to preach to you. I know you came here for Checkride knowledge. You didn't expect, Jason to go into dad mode and preach to you for a second, but I just care about you. And I want you to be such a success in aviation. And part of being a success, especially in a career like this, is longevity. Because airlines are all about seniority, which is all about longevity. You need to have a long, fruitful, stable, blessed career in aviation. You yourself have to be the epitome of health and everything else to make that happen. Enough on dad mode. Let's switch out of that mode real quick. Let's talk some Checkride questions, because I know that's what you came here for. You didn't come here to get preached to on things. I am just going to open up some pages here and just speak from the heart, and let's work through some of these things. Hey, what are some of the errors that can affect an attitude indicator? What are some errors that can affect an attitude indicator? You see, at the private pilot level, the question is, well, how does the attitude indicator work? And okay, you're flying G1000, and you get into AHRS and everything else and all that goes into that, or you get into the vacuum system. But that's not the question. The question here is, what are some errors that can affect our attitude indicator? And this transcends G1000 vacuum system. It doesn't matter. There are things like our turning errors with centrifugal force. There are things like our acceleration error, that when we accelerate, we can cause a dip either above or below the horizon, because there's the acceleration and the deceleration error. You also have to think about when doing spins. And again, if you go on to CFI, you're going to earn your spin endorsement. When you go on to do spins, well, that's going to tumble, right? Actually, it's an old video now, I did spins with Ariel Tweedo from Flying Wild Alaska. Maybe you've seen that video. If not, I'm sure you can go dig it up on the channel. What you don't know behind the scenes on that video is after that, she wanted to do so many, was just having a great time. And I love doing spins. It's a lot of fun. I had to go buy a new attitude indicator after that, because we traumatized the attitude indicator on the way down. It tumbled so much. It's not always good for that. Hey, speaking of that, when are spins likely to occur? Give me some scenarios. When are spins likely to occur? Now, you can give me the classic, base to final, Jason. And you're not wrong. That absolutely is right. But let me tell you something. Anytime you stall the airplane in an unequal manner, what is the definition of a spin? Well, for a spin to happen, one wing must be stalled more than the other. Base to final is a classic example of that, but it could be a ATC, give me an immediate left turnout on takeoff. You could spin the airplane. And then you add factors like weight, weight and balance for that matter, some wind to that, all these other performance, density, altitude, all these other things, they sound so tiny, but they all compound and they all add up. So the real answer, yes, you can give examples, base to final, the immediate climb out on takeoff, but the real answer is, anytime I put the airplane in a scenario, in a situation where one wing can be stalled more than the other, there's probably some uncoordination in there as well. We're going to get into this more with the Commercial Pilot podcast. I know you all have the book and the audio book as well. And also you can dive into our amazing Commercial Pilot online ground school. I encourage you, take a 2-week free trial, no strings attached, MzeroA trial.com to check that out and learn more on that. And just again, make sure you like my teaching style, this plain English, real world teaching style. You're going to pass your written test, your knowledge test. You're going to pass your Checkride. I have no doubt in my mind. We have one of the highest success rates out there. But my goal ultimately is to make you the safest pilot. especially as a commercial pilot with 200 paying passengers sitting behind you one day, or the boss man or the boss lady sitting behind you if you're a charter captain or pilot, whatever that may be for you. And let us help you on that journey too. We have such an amazing team here that's willing to mentor you on your career journey, just hold your hand and show you the options that are available to you. Originally I thought I was gonna be a military pilot. Then I thought I'd be an airline pilot. Then I thought I'd be a charter captain or something. And I ended up being a flight instructor. And I am so thrilled. I am so happy where I'm at. Don't let anyone ever tell you you can't make a good living as a flight instructor. Don't let anyone ever tell you, what statement I really hate, and I'm almost done. I'm sorry, I'm back to preaching here. Hey, to make $1 million in aviation, you start with 2 and all. I hate those are spoken by people who have never done it, by the way. You talk to those people, I guarantee they've never made $1 million in their life, or never, again, they're not speaking from experience, they're just giving old rhetoric of what they heard. Aviation is full of blessings and abundance. It takes hard work, just like any other success in life. But when you can take a passion with hard work ethic, it doesn't feel like you have a job now, does it? Aviation is so rewarding. I know we've been through some weird seasons now, through COVID, through 2008, but you know what? It always comes back, right? You have an amazing career opportunity ahead of you, and I just pray that you seize it and you just get laser focused on that. And I hope we can be an asset to you. I hope we can play a small part in your big success with aviation as well. Sorry to speak so much from the heart. If that was too much, let me know in the comments below. If you liked it, you want more of it, also let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment you all post. You're a blessing to us. Have an amazing, outstanding rest of your day, and most importantly, remember, a good pilot is always learning. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see ya.